So 1
is close.
And then you go, and then you go 2, cut.
And then 3,
cut.
And then back to 1.
Okay.
Back to 1 for now.
Yeah, alright.
You are live.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
I was trying to make one of these.
Ooh.
Well, we could actually.
No spoilers.
I'm thinking.
There's people on.
You know what we're doing today?
Mm.
Well, we could do it. We could do it with this. With this. Good morning. We're just messing. So you understand what's happened is that those of you that have been following what I do on A Quilter's Life or Facebook, I have moved my studio home. And then yesterday, Kate and I went, yes, we'll do live from home, and it's kind of all set up. It's not quite set up, is it, Kate? But the room's set up because it's my little cozy room, and there's a cat everywhere and there's stuff everywhere, and we rigged it all up, complete with mesh on the ceiling for the overhead camera and everything. We haven't got enough what?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is shocking.
At home. So we called the IT department, also known as Rob, and he's working on it. So we had to film the little bit we put up about the workshops yesterday. And so now everything's moved home, and then we had to bring some of it back for today, for the live show. So there's no prep. We may be short on things I haven't thought about yet. It's not winging it. It's you and me spending the morning together, making a bag. That's what we're going to do from scratch. It's called Raw. It's called, what was that thing that went on for a while? Unplugged.
Unplugged.
Unplugged. But again, for the girls in my club, check the back of my hair. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, and if you haven't looked at my last little video on A Quilter's Life, if you remember, you better get on and have a look quick, because there's freebies to send out to you as a thank you for being a member early on in the piece. And then there'll be a heap of new stuff coming through with specials for you and new people that are joining the club. So anyway, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Who's online? Who's on? Oh, so they are here. See, I gave you really, really short notice about today, but I wasn't that worried about it. One, because I was too stressed getting set up back here in the shop, in the studio, but also because we're going to leave this video up for quite a while. So if you're not watching it live, just take note as you go of what I say that is going on the website and what is not. But of course, for those of you that are watching live, of course it's better for you today if I've got some specials.
Vivian said you need more coffee.
Vivian, who said I need more coffee? Viv, go to bed. Nighttime, UK. Okay, more coffee. Oh, I can't show the girls the front of my mug. I've just realised which one I'm drinking out of. No, you can't see the front. It's cute, but it's a little bit rude in a fun way. Do you remember this one? It's quirky.
It's fun and quirky. That's why I gave
quirky.
it to you.
It's got a fox on the front.
It's both sides, Lisa.
Oh, just cover that up. It's a little bit quirky. Felicity Bonner bought it for me in Tassie one day when she thought I needed a bit of a perk up. But yes, good morning, everybody. I've missed. Hey, Kate, how do I see who's said hello already?
The comment section.
No, but it's not moving. Why is it not
today.
moving? But I haven't looked at everyone that's here. Can I not do that? Hi Denise. Hello Pam. Hello Sharon. Hello Lynette. Jill, where are you? You on the road? Are you here in Melbourne? Jill had to come down from Sydney for work this week, so she gets to come to our workshops later in the week, which is fantastic. Now, I digress. Today, we are going to go on a little journey together and make a little, we'll call it a satchel. I'm not going to call it a tote because it doesn't have a big base, but it's a bag that's going to be fantastic to use for books, for your iPad, if you just want to take your phone out, with a thin wallet, not those big fat ones that most of us have with every conceivable loyalty credit card, membership card or whatever in them, but it's a really nice thin bag. Of course, you'd be able to make the sides wider. I'm just going to take you through that as we go. If you have a copy of my little book on how to design handbags, which does need a major revamp because Natasha wants them, so I've got to do that. But if you've got one of those, it's the technique, the assembly technique that I call an all-in-one base and sides. And then next Craft and Cook show. Oh, it's all on today. After this, Kate and I are going to go home and have pecan apple crumble cake because we're going to film the cooking segment for our next Craft and Cook show.
Yeah.
And I'm mentioning that as well because one of the other techniques we're going to run through is year-old, it's actually just a flat bag but you put darts in. So I'm going to run a little class on how to design that bag, and we're going to call it the platter and plate bag because I need you to have some curves, and to do that we're going to use one of your finger food platters that you haven't had out of the cupboard for a very long time and a plate. And we're going to use that for the bag and a flap on the front. Those of you in a quilter's life, it's going to be ringing bells for you because it's the same as your free pattern that you got for your little floral purse last week. We put up more stuff today.
Hell yeah, we did.
Yes, you can't say hell yeah.
Heck.
You can't say heck yeah.
Heck.
Children.
She's in
on
Gaffer.
Jill's in Leongatha. Nice. Nice. You've thrown me now.
Yeah, I did.
You just threw me.
Threw the heck.
She
That's
threw
right,
the heck
I did
in.
It on purpose.
The floral purse is this technique that I'm talking about. So the girls have got that free pattern already and their little ruche demo and a lot of gossip. Yes, so that is the plate and platter technique for the next YouTube. So that'll be out probably early next week. Then we're going to Lee Voss's for quilting, free motion quilting. It's all going on. Did you see this bag? I just mentioned this one of our workshops. 2 spots left. So if you did want to book in with Marg,
You should show them.
I should show them the what, with an overhead
Hell
or
yes.
a close up.
Overhead.
So I go 3, cut.
Whoa.
There you go. So I'm not taking any credit for this bag. I will take credit for sourcing the frames. Thank you, Vivian. This is a little thing that Viv and I do.
That looks really good, that overhead.
It does look good, doesn't it?
It looks
How
great.
bad's my hair regrowth? Not too bad. Okay.
Cut it back.
But can I just see that? When we talk today, I want you to remember the front of this tote because we're going to talk about it a bit. Anyway, 2 spots left. The phone is on if you want to ring, 23rd and 24th. This is Margaret in the building. Can you take Miss Marg? Do you know, Kate, she's done about another 6 designs
Really?
that will go on one of those bags. So let's go. Today's tote. It's looking a little wrinkly. I'll hold it out. No, you can't have the camel. Before you say anything, you can't have the camel, okay? This bag was a kit. Oh my goodness, from how long ago? If I yelled downstairs to Emma, she would probably tell me. It's probably about 5 years old, but this is one of the rare bags that I kept for myself when we'd finished with the samples. Hello, Robin and Carolyn. Elizabeth, hello. Elizabeth sends me very nice emails. Hello, Karen. Kate and Denise, oh, they're all here. Awesome. So this is one that I have kept and I use myself. It's about the same size as a Melba Satchel, I suppose. But what this bag has that I want to go through today is just a really easy inserted pocket on the front. So if you have a look at this here, no, you can't have the camel. I just keep wanting to say that because, or the camel charms, but you can see where this has been. And I do have, Leanne Church has actually designed the most beautiful elephant heifer to use for another one. So that will be coming up very shortly. So if you have a look at the front of this bag, can you see, if you ignore the flap, this is pretty much a square. The little bit of brown that you can see around the edges is actually the thin gusset that I was talking about. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's the thin gusset. Oh, I worried myself then for a minute. So you can see, Emma calls it a gusset, I call it a side. So it's got a little thin strip. But if I fold all that under, that is essentially a square. That's all it is. And this little pocket that we've made with the camel on the front literally just sits layered over the top of a separate little panel that's been set into this block or this front of the bag. Okay, so I want to work today with some different fabrics to make a bag like this. The back I've just left as plain. I've put a flap on this one to go over, but the main thing that I want to do today is focus on how this happens. As we go along with the bag, if you sort of get a little bit lost with dimensions and everything, you'll be able to rewatch it later on. I'm going to write them down. Also, for the girls in A Quilter's Life, the pattern will be published up in your membership. Kate, have you got a little thingy for A Quilter's Life on your laptop?
I do. A
little thingy. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Cass will kill me. Oh, an award-winning logo is what I actually should have said.
That's Cass. Award-winning.
I'll get in trouble. All right. So what I would like to do today is first of all work with a few different combinations of pockets, and then do you some little combo specials to go with them. And I'm going to alter the technique for the pocket or the feature on the pocket with each one. We've got 6 all together, 6 to go through. So I'm not going to make them all up, but we're going to make one, then we're going to look at different things that we can do with the pockets. So this is our first set that we're going to work with, and if you do like this set, this is set number 1. So if you do like one of the combinations I've put together, you can order them as we usually do, through a live feed, in comments, through Messenger, through an email. You can ring. Emma and Leanne are downstairs today, so they're going to answer the phone. So it'll be really funny if you order, or if you ring, you'll hear the phone ring. Was it 7 seconds after?
Yeah.
Something like that, 7 seconds after. All right, so this is our first combination. We have called this Perfect in Purple Pack. So I'm going to use my dragon print and I'm going to fussy cut this to make my pocket. Then I'm going to lay this over this gorgeous Robert Kaufman gold, and then the sides of my front panel are going to be the plum blossom. So if I pop this bag next to it here, you can see that's my pocket, that's what's behind, and that is going to make up the sides. And then everything that you've got left over, you'll be able to use to do the gussets, to do the strap. We'll run through the strap for you, and essentially the basics of how to put it together. Then if you do have one of my patterns, like the Melba Satchel, like the studio bag, or if you've got the little design book on how to design handbags, it's going to be really easy for you to follow through and complete the assembly of your bag. So I'm going to take my dragons first, and the whole bag is going to pretty much work around, thanks Kate, pretty much work around how the size of the pocket fits with the design, if that makes sense. That really didn't make sense, did it? The pocket is going to determine the size of our bag. I'm going to lay out a piece of this. Now, this special pack that I'm talking about, with each of them today, you get 3 half-meter pieces. Go back and have a look at this. I'm going to do that. Getting the hang of it, Kate. I'm getting there.
You can just press cut now.
Can I? Between and 2? All right. So we're going to fussy cut this down. But just going back, 3 half-meter pieces. So this first pack that's number 1, you're going to get 1/2 meter of the dragons, 1/2 meter of the gold, and you're going to get 1/2 meter of the blossoms. That usually comes to $39, and that's what it will appear as on the website after tomorrow. So if you want to get in early and grab yourself a special, it says here on the piece of paper, which you can't see. Look, they're all written up. They're ready to go. It says, just so you don't think I'm making it up, I don't want you to think I'm making it up as I go, $32.50. So instead of $39, $32.50 for you. Then you'll be able to get your pack, come back and watch it again. Kate's going to load it up onto YouTube as well. So if you want to watch it bigger on the television, heaven forbid, you'll be able to do that. But again, if you're in a quilter's life, you'll have a published copy of the pattern as well. Kate, now you can do that magic and put that quilter's life thing up for me.
So if you click still.
What? I got to click a button? Where's the still button?
So next to 4.
Yeah.
And then still.
Still.
And then click cut.
Oh, it's just all a learning curve, isn't it? So that, see that there, that's what I talk about with the club. That's a quilter's life. It's $10 a month. It's an online club, and on the home page of my website, our website, everyone's website, there is a big button on the left hand side that you can click on and join up. So it's $10 a month, and you get at least $20, $30 worth of free patterns a month and recipes and blogs and all sorts of things. And some new stuff starting really soon. So let's get this cut. Now, I really want, for the first one, just to have a lovely pocket that's straight, that's got this guy in the middle. So I'm going to use my very average looking ruler. Can I have that one behind your laptop as well, please, Kate? I might use that one for this. One of those. Not the one with the grotty stickers on, maybe. Let's have the other one. That one. Ta. So all the beautiful new ones are at home, ready for filming. Ha ha. Oh dear. So these little dudes that I designed, so you really would think that I would remember, wouldn't you, how big they are. I think we're going to make this pocket, and I really am just making this up, girls, because this was not the plan. I want my finished pocket to take in this extra little line, which I know is 1/4 of an inch, and add a little bit further. So maybe if I bring it out to there, okay, so I want my pocket to be finished 8 inches wide. So going to draw this up here for you. This is going to be 8 inches for my pocket. So as you know, that means we have to add on a seam allowance. So we're going to cut this 8.5 wide. Now we need it back to our pocket as well. Yes, so if you have a look at this one here, this does have a seam along the top and a different lining, but we can probably cheat with that this morning. Well, not cheat, just be a little bit more smart, fast, and use the same fabric folded over for the back of the pocket. Easy done, but that means I have to be really careful when I'm going to cut these, because I need to make sure that I've got one down the bottom and one up the top. That's the button I wanted. So if I cut this, let's get this cut. I'm going to line it up. We really want that in the middle. 10, 8, so it's there. Oh. I'm going to cut it here. I'm just going to cut straight down here. On this second line across. So that's the end of the pretty pattern. That's my 1/4 inch line. I'm going to come across to the next one, because, you know, when you're making it up as you go, I'll put proper measurements on and some notes for the girls that'll get the pattern in the Quilters Club, but you can, if you're not going to make the bag again, if you're not publishing a pattern to sell to anybody, you can make it up as you go just to fit your fabric, which is kind of what I love about a lot of handbag assembly design techniques. There we go. So the leftover fabric from your 1/2 meter pack, you're going to have heaps and heaps. And that's really, really good because I want you to be able to use it to make your strap, to make your back panel maybe. That'd be really nice in this particular one in the dragons. You've got lining, you can put a pocket inside as well if you want to. You might even like to have what we're doing for the pocket on the front and on the back. So you're going to have a lot of leftovers. So I'll pop that over there. So I think, what else would we do except fold this over and make sure that we've got one of these guys right in the middle. So this is my piece. So we're all thinking, yeah, that's the pocket. Yeah, and that's fine to be the pocket if we were going to sew a separate piece in to make the lining of the pocket. But if I want to do this and fold it and use the same piece, then it's going to actually be the dragon down the bottom like that. That's going to be the top of our pocket, yeah? That's going to look, you know, it's really weird when you design fabric. By the time the fabric arrives, you're just so grateful that it's arrived. You don't really, and you're still in the stress of it being done and it arriving, and there's so much of it, and you're going to be able to sell it all. Is it all going to happen? You don't stop and enjoy it. There's probably a little bit of delight when we see the first strike offs, and Kate's seen a couple of those now.
So exciting.
And so exciting. Again, I've shared a couple of those with people, but you kind of then walk away and it's the business end of design. It's promoting it and marketing it and selling it to shops and doing patterns. And it's up to 6 to 12 months later that you actually come back one day and walk past a shelf and go, oh, yeah. That's pretty cool.
I did that.
I did that because you've forgotten the whole process you went through. These dragons. Oh, Kate, I got it wrong. There we go. These dragons were really, really hard. I don't know if you can see it there, but they shade from dark to light in the middle. I can't tell you the pain that I put my poor design team through to do that. Just horrible. All right, I want to get this pressed just on, I'm pressing it on that top line, okay, between the two. And you see, so see the line there in the middle, so I'm going to press it right on that line. Now this one that we're doing, this is going to be the simplest, but it doesn't mean it's not the most effective. I'm just going to go off screen and give this a quick iron over here. Move that in a bit. Do you know, Kate, if you leave the iron on overnight here, this one up here, she's still beeping in the morning. We've taken the wrong iron home or whatever. I like the one that's at home that turns itself off.
Yeah, it's a safer.
It was still beeping. It was me. It was me. All right, so that's ironed. So now we've got a pocket that is 8 inches wide, and that includes the seam allowance, so that's thrown me a little bit. I thought we were going wider, but that's actually super perfect. So what are we going to do? Shall we make it a square pocket? Shall we make it a tall one? I suppose if we want it to sort of look the same, the top and bottom, we would come through and trim that off there. I think we'll do that. So I'll do the same thing at the bottom of the dragon on the front. There you go.
Do you need a new blade?
I need a new blade. That is
Do you
appalling.
want me to go find one?
If you would be so kind. You'll leave me on my own.
You were doing great. You know.
They're in the, you know where they are?
Yeah.
They're in the trolley. Right. She says I'm doing great, so she's leaving me.
Well, you've taken half my job.
It made me breathe in too quick. She said I took her job. She has so much work to do. Don't even think about it. Right, so there's our pocket. Oh, which way? That way. Now, this is where we talk about stabilizers. Do you want something in the pocket as well as in the bag? I think I do, and I've had a feel of this Camel one. And it's got a little bit of Palin in it, so I've got the Palin up here. It's not all cut neat and tidy because, you know, we had to move. Ginny's really upset. She thought she was going to get to be part of the live shows, and I had to explain to poor Gin, the fluff ball, that she would have to wait. She's been watching Natasha Makes in the UK with me, and she goes, well, Natasha's cat's all over the desk. Why can't I be all over the desk all the time? So we'll have to, at the expense of a very expensive router and several hours of poor Rob on the phone, talking with Telstra and Optus, we will get there, because we also need to sort it out, because we want to start taking our lives out to party.
Can I please have your cutter?
You may have my cutter. What am I going to use? It's all right, I'll use my scissors.
2 seconds.
So let's get organised, and we'll cut ourselves a piece of Palin, adhesive Palin. We keep it in stock in 630 and in 640, and this is great for thin bags, for small purses, for wallets and things like that. When you get into a bigger bag and you want a little bit more structure, then you're going to move yourself up to one of two things. You're going to keep the 640 in your outer bag and put some adhesive violin on the liner, or you can move up to business class and pop some adhesive rubber foam batting in, like Soft and Stable or one of those. Actually, Miss Kate, seeing you're happy to go up and down the stairs, underneath our new magnificent slat wall, near the banana feet, there's a new folded stumpy roll of some new Bosal batting.
What code?
I don't know. Em will know what I'm talking about.
Stumpy roll of that.
It's like folded double over, and it's a short stack. It's the only bit near the... I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I'm yelling at her because she's going down the stairs. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. Okay. Let's go back to over top. So I've cut myself a square of Palin. We're just going to pop this up in here. So even if you do a larger bag and you've got Soft and Stable or rubber foam batting happening in your bag, I would still recommend using a thinner product in the pocket, because once you come to sew, depending on the machine you've got and the feet and everything you've got, you might actually find that you're pushing your luck in terms of being able to get all of those layers through, because you're going to have this layer, you're going to have the back of the pocket panel behind, and these on the side. So you might just want to keep it a little bit thinner. If you decide to do it the way I'm going to do it today and just have that bit in the pocket and put batting on the whole bag later, then that's probably a better option. Yeah, do you want to cut me off just a chunk?
How much is a chunk?
About half a metre chunk. I don't know. A chunk, Kate. It's a universal term in quilting language. A chunk. That's a chunk. Perfect. All right, we'll just iron this pocket because we've got adhesive in there. Okay. So the next step that we need to do is create this panel that's going to sit behind our bag. And in this
Sorry about the cut.
set, I just thought we'd try this today. Can you read the label and tell me what it...
Light fusible batting. Style.
Light fusible batting.
Do you want the style code?
No.
Or-
So it's just called light fusible batting.
Yep, supported batting for quilting, embroidery and crafts.
Right, all you bag girls out there. See, it's quite thin,
Yeah.
and it's
45 width.
It's dotty. Oh, is it? What is it? How wide?
45-inch width.
45-inch width.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's as
25
wide as
yards.
our foam batting. That's really cool. when it's that wide, it means you can get pretty much a whole bag out of the height of the bag with that. It's dotty, girls. So if I compare that with some, let's get sidetracked here, product review. It's thinner. It's not as it's got a little bit more give in it than the adhesive Pellin. Now that's a very interesting thing. It's almost like a cross between Pellin and Whisper Weft. It's got a little bit more. I kind of like it.
Grip.
The story with this is, it's not like I just ordered it to see what it was like. It was sent in error, and I said, no, I know, I'll keep it. I actually think that would be really, really nice, sort of in placemats and stuff too. I don't know, quite like that. I like it a lot. As I did order it in error, if anyone wants any today, we're doing Pellin for $10 a metre, and we're doing, we'll do that for, that's usually, I know that's more expensive, but we'll make it $15 a metre today. And that's actually a bargain because it's 55 inches wide, and the Pellin is $10 a metre, and it's only 36 inches wide.
So
I'll probably die if I see the invoice later and go, what did I do?
That Pellin is $15 a metre.
So Pellin's going to be $10 a metre, and this new stuff, which you called it, what you call it?
Oh Lord.
Fusible something, fusible batting, let's call it. We'll make 15, just if anyone wants some for their stash. Who said something about their sewing machine? Someone just said something about...
Melissa said my 440 and 770 manage by Annie bags with ease.
Yes, they would. They would manage your absolutely. If you've got bananas, they just chew through the batting like butter, particularly with your walking foot on when you're going through heaps of layers. It does come down to the needle strength of your machine. You want that amazing, consistent strength that you have. Okay, so let's do our center panel next. So I'll go back to this one. So now this is our pocket, so you can imagine that's it over the top, and we've made our pocket wider to fit with our beautiful, well, I think they're nice, our super duper dragons. So we want the panel at the back to be the same width. So this is the easy bit. We just need to cut a length of our gold in this case. I don't know where else I'm going to use this gold yet, which is the fun bit. I'm going to make it up. So I might cut a width across the bolt. I can always come back and use what I've cut again later to piece in a pocket for the lining or anything like that. It also means it leaves my options open if I do want to use the this gold for the strap. I probably won't. I'll choose one of the darker colours. Now am I throwing you all being a lefty with my cutting with the overhead? Alright, if I open this up, we only need one piece of this, so that's going to give us heaps left over to use. And friends, we need to decide now on the height of our bag. So that's going to sit like that. This is the one that we're looking at as our little sample. I'll have to trim that selvage off later, but we'll pop that down there. Then this is going to go either side like that. Probably not that wide, do you think? Let's pull him down a little bit. Because I'll use the blossom on the back on mine. So that's going to sit like that on either side. So it really is, have a little bit of a play. See what you think is going to work best for you and what you want to use your bag for. If you decide you want a big fat bag, you can make that wider like that. But you can sort of see proportionally, if I was going to go wider, my bag would probably only be about that high because I'd sort of want it to sit landscape that way. But if I don't want that, if I want it like the one that I'm using as my example, I'm going to narrow that off. Let's see if we can get it to a square. So I think, I don't know, maybe a good rule of thumb is to go half the height of this. So this is going to be 7.5 finish. I think I'll add 4. We're going to add 4 onto that. So that's going to be, so it's going to be 7.5 finish. We could take it up to 11.5. 7.5 finish, 11.5, about there. About there's good. What's that on my ruler? See, this is it. You can just make it up as you go.
Oh, who's borrow your phone?
You can borrow my phone.
Thanks, my comments disappeared.
Oh.
My laptop doesn't like it.
Did someone say a rude word to Kate? Her comments have disappeared on her phone. All right, let's keep it simple. I'm going to cut this at 12. Cut down to there. Kate, what did you say you wanted a bag made out of? You actually, there was something you wanted a bag out of. What was it?
Well, I love that geisha one you gave me.
Oh, I gave you the geisha one.
Yeah.
Do you use it?
I haven't been to enough events yet, but I will be.
She says that.
No, I
She
really
says
love
that.
it. I seriously do love it.
All right. Well, good. But see that these are really easy to make up. Like that. All right. Now we're getting down to the serious bit. So that is our bag, like that. The front panel done. And if you weren't all mucking around like me, talking about 1,000 things, that would have taken you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to prep that, no longer, that whole section, particularly if you're going to make a few of them. So that whole piece is 12 high. I'm going to remember that because that's important when we come to cut all of the heights of the lining and the backing of the bag. And if that is that case now, I think I want my sides to be about that. If I have a look down here, perfect. I am just going to cut myself some strips that are 4 inches wide because I like the look of a 3.5 on the sides. So we'll cut 2 strips. Now remember, I need to cut them 4 wide, but 12 inches high. So we've actually got a dimension now that we have to work with. So if they are 12 high, 12 wide, 4 wide, 12 high. How much coffee did I drink? Not enough.
Not enough.
It's been a full-on day. Here we go. So I've just cut one piece that's 4 inches wide. And then we'll come back and cut him down to cut 2 down. I've got them doubled over. Thank you for my new blade, Kate.
No worries, anytime. That's what I'm here for.
It's so sharp, I think I've just put a dent in the ruler. Ta-da! Now that's going to come down a little narrower because we need to sew those seams in. Done. Quick and easy, make it up as you go. All right, I'm going to now pin these. I want to complete one front for you because then I can just walk you through what else you will need to do to complete your bag. As I said, there are a couple of different examples to show you, and I want to just walk those through with you for your pockets. Have you got your comments back?
I did, they just disappeared.
Sharon Keys is on.
Yeah, she is.
We saw Sharon made a comment this morning. I can't remember what Sharon's comment was.
This morning?
No, I spoke to Sharon at some point.
Oh.
She sent me a message, or it doesn't matter, I'll catch her later. It's all good. May have been about workshops, it might be about any, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hello, Ruth. Oh, Everyone that's getting their freebie from A Quilter's Life, we've had all the labels are being done today with a little letter, and I will be honest, I will probably ask Lisa King to send those out on Thursday for you. I've got to ring Lee this afternoon too, to find out if we can go and see her tomorrow. I've got to drop her quilts back from the exhibition and talk about going down for A Quilter's Life. There we go. That's looking good.
It is looking good.
It is looking good. Okay, so we'll just grab a little Benina. There was also one of those at home, ready to go. But that's okay. Now I'm going to pop my walking foot on because I am going to work with my 475 today. If I had a dual feed, like a 770 or the 570, I probably may not bother with the dual feed. Dual feed is fantastic if you're just doing thick layers, but once you get into piecing and stuff, you've got to, promise me, you will switch over to a walking foot, because a dual feed system and foot is not the same as a walking foot. Dual feed will push everything through and hold it down really tight, so that if you're doing slippery fabrics or anything, it's going to...
Sorry about the squeak.
Okay, it's got a squeaky chair. It's going to hold everything tight. But once you get onto quilting and things that are heavily pieced, you have... I can't see with my glasses on and because I'm standing up. There we go. Why can't I see what I'm doing? I've lost my peripheral vision in the bright lights, Kate.
With your glasses on?
No, what am I... There we go. Goodness me, it's just all the shine. They're so bright with the lights from the machine and the bright light and everything. It's deer in the spotlights.
Rosemary installed a Chromecast to her TV, so she's watching on the television. That's big.
Rosemary, is my hair okay? So yeah, so what has she done? She's put it on Chromecast.
Yeah, she added the little Chromecast to her TV so she can watch it on television.
Well, that's cool. Well, hopefully, Rosemary, you'll be able to watch it on YouTube.
She also made it for your table so you can wind it up and down from your side. So it's if you need to wind it up or down.
I don't think I need to go. Maybe I'll go up a little bit. And the girls can see the machine a bit better too, yeah? I feel like something's going to fall off if I keep doing that. All right, we'll pop this under. So can the girls see what I'm doing if I do? Oh, Kate, talk about a pro. You've got it all done. All right, so we're just going to sew down these seams. This is incorporating your side panels to the lining. You know, it really helps if you plug the pedal in. Huge difference, huge difference. So it's taking in the pocket, the panel that the pocket sits over, and the side pieces. I admire the girls on the telly shopping channels in the UK. They also standing up. I don't know how they do it. I don't think I could. Especially Nat, she's like 6'2", and she does it at waist height. It's a skill. I wasn't going to say that the purple was my favourite, but
it might be.
you know what I was saying to you about the thread not to run out? No. Don't say anything. Don't say a word. I took the bobbin out to check it. There's no bobbin in there, Kate. Oh. Uh-oh. Let's try that again. Just, what did they used to say? Test transmission. We will resume broadcasting in 5 minutes. I was looking at a quilt, a modern quilt. this morning, and it just looked like a TV. Do you remember the test bars? What's it called? The test transmission bar. Kate's too young. She doesn't get it.
I am a youth. I am not a teen.
The television never used to run 24 hours a day.
Yes.
And when it wasn't on, you had this long, dull pitch noise. And the test bar, which is all these different colours, I feel like writing to the person that made the quilt and saying, is that what it is? I made these huge expletives and oh no!
Test pattern.
Thank you, test pattern. Oh no, this morning. Kate thought I'd found some tragedy or something I'd done really bad. I used to, when I designed for Robert Kaufman, they had a Russian distributor, and I've spoken about Rima a lot, because she was the most amazing person to meet. Easily 6'2", the long, what you would expect from an amazing Russian woman, the long curly hair and the big carpet bag that she would just produce presents and things out of. I was terrified of her when I first met her, because I was the one that had to tell her my next fabric range was Russian. And I thought, if she doesn't like it, I'm doomed. Anyway, it was great. She loved it. She helped me name it. It was all wonderful. And I just on chance started to follow this quilter that popped up with these beautiful photos that, you know, pop up in your live stream on Facebook. And she put this quilter put up a post about an exhibition coming up in Moscow as a bag exhibition. And who's running it? It's Rima. So I haven't spoken to her for, wow, it's going to be 6 years. So I was so excited. So I'm going to get in touch with her. But she was amazing. She might like my fabric. You never know. She might. She loved Under the Australian Sun because, you know, Lisa, we're Russian, we love red. And Under the Australian Sun actually sold the most in Europe, in Russia, when it came out. What have I done? I've left the pedal on. Okay. So here we have it, all sewn on. There is the front of our bag. Done. Now, without all the talk, without everything else, that's going to happen really quickly for you. I'll give it a press. And then we can look at our dimensions. And you can see it's puckering just a little bit, and that's because we've got batting in here and we haven't got any in here yet. But when you pop a whole piece of Palin or adhesive Palin or bag batting or anything on the back, that's going to even that out. You don't have to quilt it, but if you are going to quilt it, what I would suggest is just an echo with your walking foot. So just come in about 1/4 of an inch. That's easy to do with your walking foot. To get that edge, find something with your foot that you can line up really nicely. I'll just use this foot as an example now. So if you, oh no, not there. Let's try it this way. If you, did I get moved?
Oh, sorry, I moved it up.
Ah, because we put that.
No, I just feel.
All right. So I can line my foot up on my fabric. That was my walking foot. Just move your needle across a little bit. Find a section of your foot, outside or inside, that's going to work for you, and then just move your needle across a little bit so that you get a really nice top stitch next to the edge of the seam. So done. Let's see what we're working with, because that's going to play a big part of us moving forward to do our gusset around the outside and to do our back. So the whole piece, folks, is, so now we're at 15. We're at 15 including seam allowance for the width. So go here. So now I'm going to take this out. We've added on our sides. We've got the panel sitting behind. That's our dragon in there. And this is 15 cut. So if you just want to just remember, your finished is going to be 14.5 inches. And we decided that we were going to have a 12-inch high cut. So we're 11.5 finished, all right, in there. Too easy. Now, what about our gusset that's going to go right round the outside for our side on here? Well, I'm going to keep mine nice and narrow, so I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 inches wide. And we have to work out how big this piece needs to be to go round. So if we know that this is 14 and we've got, so we're going to have 14.5 across the base, and we're going to go up this side, and we're going to go up this side. So Kate, got a calculator? So it's 23 inches if you add up the sides, and we're going to add on, I probably don't need one, Kate, it's fine, just thought I'd put you on the spot. Can you just see that? So you've got 14.5 across the bottom, 11.5 and 11.5, so that all comes to 37.5 plus, don't forget, you've got to add a 1/2 inch for both of your seam allowances. So we need a strip that is 38 inches long, and it's going to be 2.5 inches wide. Done. Easy. If you don't want to worry about measuring it, you just can cut a really long, generous strip. Start sewing from the center of it at the base and go up the sides and trim it off. You can do that. Just be extra careful though when you put on the back to that gusset as well. You need to make sure it's in the middle, or you can get a little bit of a twist happening. But I'm going to come back and grab my blossom, and I'm going to cut myself a 2-inch. I'm not going to sew it all on today because we've got a lot of other things to talk about, but I will just cut this and show you how it works. Right, and then we're going to cut that down to 38. Half of 38 is 19, so I can leave my piece of fabric folded over. What's for lunch, Kate?
I'm so hungry. Sorry.
Oh, production crew's about to go on strike unless she eats.
Yeah.
She gets hangry, really hangry.
I do, but I'm not going to get hungry today.
Nope.
I've got some one-pot pasta. Mum kindly made it last night.
You must have stayed at your mother's if you got one pot pasta.
I did stay at my mother's.
Alright. Okay, so this piece has been cut to 38. Let's just see how we went. You're going to back this, remember, with your batting or palin or whatever you want to pop on the back. And then you're going to come through and add your gusset. Now, because this bag is super thin, you're not going to want to put a lot in this piece, or it's going to get a little bit bulky. I would suggest maybe a thin palin in here, about a 630 or a 640 on this piece if you want to. Even just as an iron-on violin, but needs a little bit, but not too much. So this is quite convenient because I've got the fold already marked of the center, but you do want to find that middle. Then you're going to pop this on your find the center of your base is what I'm trying to say. So that is 7.5. So there's my middle right there. Oh, I'm below. Sorry, girls. Pop that there. I'll pop a pin in just so that I can show you how this is all going to work. So you're going to pin across to the edge like that. You're going to stop when you sew at the 1/4 inch line. Then you're going to be able to turn that. Oh, look at that. Couldn't have done it better. That's because I measured it. But as I said, if you want to leave it extra long and just trim it off, you can. Just be careful. You find those centers each time. So that's going to go up to the top. So you're going to sew from the center out, stop at the 1/4 inch seam point and sew up to the top. And then you'll do the same with the other side. Go up to there and he'll go up to the top. Great. All right. So that's how you get that on. It's that simple. I don't know what else to say. It's that simple. You're going to make a back piece the same size, please. So for me, I'd be cutting that 12 by 15 to get the same size back panel. If you don't even want to write those measurements down, just make it up, sew your front panel, and then actually use your front panel as your template to label your fabric for the back panel and for 2 pieces for your lining. You're going to make the lining up the same size, and remember with your lining, don't forget to leave a little gap in the bottom for you to turn the whole bag through later. In terms of the strap, you've got a few options. If you decide that you want to buy handles instead of a strap to go on your bag, be careful. Just think about how wide your bag's going to be, and I know we've talked about it before. If your bag is too wide and your handles are too far apart, the bag's going to buckle when you pick your bag up. So just keep that in mind, but there's no reason why you couldn't add handles onto this if you wanted to. If you decide you want to add a side strap like this one that I've done, I would recommend cutting yourself a piece that is at least probably 4 inches wide, so the same as what we cut before. In fact, where is that bit? So 4 inches wide like this piece. And you're going to fold it over, press it really well, open it out again, and use that press line in the middle to bring in the raw edges to the center, and then roll it again. So that one would be 1 inch wide. If you wanted a bit wider than that, then just go to 4.5 or 5, and then you'll top stitch down each side. What you'll do with that as well is set your pin, or set that handle in onto that top rim on the outside of your bag before you put it right sides together with your lining. So you make the whole outside of the bag, sit these in the top, make the lining, sit them together right sides together, and then whiz around the top of the bag. For all those sort of assembly, last minute assembly pieces, have a look through patterns that you've got. Go back and have a look at, even episode Craft and Cook, Kate, maybe number 1, even when we just did the little fabric baskets, just that whole concept of putting the outside and the right side together, outside and the inside, right sides together, and sewing right around the top. That pretty much applies to any bag. And you've just got to put those little handles in, or your strap in, before you do that final step. So as I said, Quarter Life Girls, I'll do a whole comprehensive pattern for you. And you'll be very, very busy. So that pack, as I said, was number 1 for you today. So I'll just lay that quickly out again, quick, so you can see. I'll take that off. So number 1 has got the purple dragons, the gold regent, and the plum. That's number 1, and the value is $39, and today that is $32.50, and that will be until
for a while.
Yeah, for a while. Probably until, I don't know. I'll leave it up for a little while. Maybe the end of the week. That's fair, isn't it? What's today?
That's
Tuesday.
lovely.
That's heaps of time. We will run out of, I think we'll run out of some of these other things we're doing. But that's okay. Now, let's go to number 2, because number 2 now will all make sense to you, even more so if I put the camera back to the front. There we go. So number 2 is a very, very different combination. Not dragons for this one. Number 2 has got pre-stitched Melba circular flannel flower motifs stitched out by Leanne Church. So we're very, very lucky to have these, because there was a very, very faux pas a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to give it a 9. When we asked Leanne to stitch out some of these for our embroidery designs, and poor Leanne, she stitched out 6-inch ones instead of 4-inch to go into the quilt.
But that is your gain.
Yeah, that's your gain. That is your gain. Okay, look at that. So number 2 is the Melba Garden Pack, and you're going to get these. So I'm going to include for you a 1/2 meter. This is a little bit different, this pack, because this is your pocket, and I'm very conscious that you're going to need a little bit more black to play with. So, but then black is less expensive than the other fabric, so it kind of all evens out. So you're going to get 1/2 meter of plain black. I haven't cut that yet. This is how organized we are this morning. So you're going to get 1/2 meter of black magic. You're also going to get one of these beautiful designs already stitched out. You're going to get Shimmer by Northcote. Shimmer by Northcote. So this is just a lovely soft speckle. It's one of the fabrics that the girls doing the applique sampler are using as their background. Can you see that okay? Just see that okay. A little bit glary. It's not.
Sorry,
it's not feeling the love. Whoop. That's it. So it's just a lovely speckle through it, and then you're also going to get flannel flowers. So this is one of these rare occasions where I feel that we can mix up our fabric genres, if you like, because we're going to run with stylized Melba and under the Australian Sun black flannel flowers. So have a think about what we've just done. You're going to be able to cut down this beautiful piece that's been stitched out for you to the width of the pocket that you want. I would think with this one you will run as a square, girl, so you probably, let's just have a look. You know what, that's 8 as well. That's 8 just sitting there like that. So you could run the same dimensions if you want to. So you're going to get 1/2 meter of black, 1/2 meter of shimmer, and 1/2 meter of flannel flowers, and the stitched out one. How many have we got, Kate? Oh, that sounded very telly-sally. Sorry.
Is it 6?
I'm not going to make mine up. I'm going to let everyone have these. So I think we've only got 6. I think Paulie Ann did 6. They take, I believe, they take an hour.
Well, there's 5 here in that one.
6. It takes an hour on a machine embroidery module to stitch them out. 6. We've got 6 of those, and that's number 2, 430, 250. So that combination, take what we've just done, write it down, work your dimensions out, or you'll be able to get your pattern Quilter's Life, and then you'll be able to make that up into a beautiful bag. I think I would probably use plain black for my handle. I think with this one, I do like it. I like it. There's no excuse for me to keep one because I have the machine and the technology to stitch my own out. So I will have to do that. Now, the next combo is for the love of jade. So we're going to go to the boys. Here we go. We're going to go Jade, Wicker, Jade, Blossom. So this is number 3, and this one's also, they're all $32.50 the packs. So what can we do that's different with our pocket? Remember we talked before with the first one, we talked about actually just folding over the dragons to give us our pocket. So let's look at another option. If I was to come through and actually cut these down, you can do it differently, and you can create a little unique octagon, if you like, shape to the top of your pocket. See that okay? So
We only had 5, didn't we?
you said 6. 5 specials? Or 6? How many have you got? Are you worried now?
No, I'm just looking it over. You had 1.
I've got 1.
3, 4, 5,
I haven't-
6. All right.
You good?
Yeah. You just yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You let me know if you run out because I'll tell them. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to whiz up here like that. And I'm going to whiz up. So this time I'm actually going on that center line between the different octagons. And again, I've got my beautiful big bit left over to use for handle straps, the back of the bag, inside, whatever you'd like to use it for. And I'm going to cut these down. So I'm going to cut two octagons off, and you can see I'm not using the ruler, well, I am using the ruler, but I'm not using the ruler or the mat to measure. I'm purely going by the lines on the fabric. So I'm using that center line between them all, like that. I've got the boys all cut out. Then I want to follow this angle line. So this line across here. If I turn it over, I can just make out, and if I had a light box here, it would be easier. But I'm just trying to find a bit that you can see. Okay, all right. So if I fold it back, you can see that's my little center line there. I'm doing this in pen so that you can see it. So draw in that line, and I'm going to use it like a seam line. So we also know on the front here I've got a 1/4 inch gap down to the red line.
Oh, speed.
Gee, they're good on the phone.
Yeah.
Wow. We said to them, we'll leave the phone on, but you have to jump on it. Wow, that's impressive. One ring. We're not that good, are we?
So we're sold out of number 2.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Number 2's gone. All gone. And no, I would not dare. I'm sorry, girls. I would not dare ask her to do any more at the moment. She's got so much work on that I just wouldn't dare. So can you see that? I have drawn onto the back essentially a 1/4 inch line that's going to come up to here. It's going to go across there. It's going to go across here, and it's going to go down there. So it is going to give me that octagon shape, or that angled shape at the top of my pocket. I would pop some Vilene on the back of this, and then I would come through and sew that line and then trim it down. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to do that so that you can see the kind of effect that you can get. So we're not going to be folding down this time. We are going to be bagging out our pockets. So 2 pieces, right sides together, with a bit of Vilene on one side, sew right round and turn it right side out. Then that means that the top of your pocket, I haven't quite pulled that off, Kate. That one's better. It would be accurate if I had a light box. There you go. So that is what your pocket's going to look like. And now you can go ahead and set it in to your bag panel, just like we did before. So I fold this down to 8. So the three fabrics in this slot do all come from Summer Palace. The wicker's actually really good, and I'm hoping that we have enough stock of the wicker to be able to use it when I finish the new Japanese range. But I'm also very conscious that is not a thing. That's not a good thing, because they're Chinese double happiness symbols. That I'm going to be mixing up my cultures. I'd have Chinese wicker with double happiness. I don't know. I'd be alright with it. There we go. So that is what your pocket will look like. Okay, I've still got to make that bag to go with those shoes that I got at Christmas. Like that. And then we'll bring our jade through and our blossoms, and I'll just pop that next to it so you can see. Oh, see, that's quite, it's cool and it's calm.
I like that.
Like that. That'd be quite cute. When you do this one, and you've got that Vilene in there, you might find this flops a little bit. I totally understand that's a thing. So you might want to come through and just put a little press stud under there, and that would just make your pocket more secure too. Just another idea for you to do. Right, so that's number 3. Number which one? I see red. I see red. Okay. So this is the next one, and this is number 4. Just streaming through now. 2 things that I would recommend with our pack number 4. One is, be quick, how many have we got? It's my telly-selly voice.
Good thing. Can I go get my book from downstairs?
Oh, it's 4, isn't it?
Of which? Is it?
Remember you cut
Yes.
them yesterday?
I'm still
If I
hungry.
don't cut this one up, you've got 4.
I'm still gonna get one.
She's going for the book.
Then I have.
Kate cut these yesterday and she's now panicking. She doesn't want to tell you she's got something when she hasn't. So this pack has got this gorgeous thing. This was a Robert Kaufman. I say was because it's quickly leaving the building. We had it in a few colours and I'll be honest, I stashed this because I thought I might use it for, what else am I going to use it for? Oh, Madame Butterfly, which is our block of the month starting in the second half of the year. I may still use it in that. I think I have been left with about 1.5 meters after cutting the ones today to go with the gold. And they are going to be really limited kits for that block of the month. So I might be able to squeeze a little bit in somewhere. This is the gold and this is why we don't have much left of it. It may come back in the future, but you just don't know. You don't know. And that's going to go with the red. So I've actually got 2 suggestions for this. First of all, if you do what we did with the first one, if you do this, you can also add in another little pin tuck in that seam. So the gold is really full on. So the other thing that you can do is play around with your fabrics here. If you wanted to, you could actually use this fabric for the sides and this top bit. Pop your dragons over the top. We got 5? We got 5. Oh, we can do 5. Okay, that's great. So we've got 5 for number 4 special. So if I had that like for the whole bag, let me open it out a bit more. Let's do it that way. So this is going to be our pocket and our whole bag. So the panel that sits behind and the side. So it will look like the dragons are floating a little bit over the top like that. So if you just wanted a hint of the gold and then use the gold for your handle, it would make an absolutely stunning, I've got Natasha's accent. I've been talking to her too much and she's channeling me. Oh dear. If you wanted to use the gold just as a hint on the front, when you do this seam and do it with your walking foot and make sure that it's pinned really well, add in a little pin tuck, just a little pin tuck of the gold up through there. So when you're sewing this seam here, cut from your gold just a 1 inch, literally a 1 inch, and I'm drawing on the thing. So just cut yourself a 1 inch strip, fold it over, wrong sides together as a little pin tuck, and sandwich it in there. And that's just going to give you a little bit more interest to your bag, a little bit more of a feature. Be really nice. I don't know about you, but I've got a stash of Chinese coin charms from the shows from years and years ago, before Kate was even born almost, right? We used to collect. There was a lovely Chinese gentleman that used to bring all these treasures back from China and used to have these little pots of Chinese coins. If you're like me and you've got them, this is the bag that you would put them on. Definitely the bag you'd put them on. Now, the other thing that I just want to show you as well, just quickly, these are, for all intents purposes, like a snowball block. Okay, so if I pull this one out and show you as well, if you cut these down and added in your cut off triangle corners like a flying geese or something, you could actually cut this down and add yourself a triangle on of your fabric that you're using for your center panel, and that way you're going to get literally a snowball block with our little cut off triangles on the corners. So cut it down to the octagon and add in corners again to get it back to a square to turn into your pocket. That would work with this fabric as well if you use the gold for your center panel. So if you are like, no, at least I'm just going to go the whole bit and do the whole bling.
A flying what?
Kate's going, a flying what? It's a flying geese.
Ah, what's that?
I'll draw you one later. Oh,
Thank
should
you.
I draw one for everyone? I'm sure, right? Everyone watching knows what a flying geese block is.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Just drawing this for Kate.
I think I kind of get the... Is it because of the shape of flying geese?
We have. I just looked at the quilt on the wall. There's flying geese in Matilda's medallion.
Right.
I will show you downstairs later. That is a flying geese block. So what you do is you have a piece that is a square that's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Put it across the corner, sew across, trim off the excess and fold it back. That is in your quilt lesson number 552 to come, Miss Kate. So if we pop that over the top and it's all on and it's all bling, you could have cut off corners here in the gold as well, so it just looks like the little dragon plate is floating on the background. So that was which? Number 4. Number 5. Number 5, number 5. How many have we got?
Number 5.
Your effluents. How many effluents? I think there's 10 effluents.
I don't... That one? I didn't cut any of them.
No, they're not cut yet, but how many elephants have we got? I gave them to you
They're
this morning.
heffalumps.
They're heffalumps. So, this is just another of those lovely things that I have had stashed for a little while, and you just look for the project to put them on, and I've decided they just need to showcase. They just need to be showcased. And this bag that we're doing today is perfect.
Are you going to be using one as an example?
No,
11.
11. What do I want?
Well, 10. We'll say 10. Because then we get it.
Right. Now, with this fabric as well, I need you to have a little bit of a think about direction, because that's the way it sits on the bolt, but for me, it's got to go that way. So this is what I'm using. It's quite glary. It's got a lot of beautiful gold in it. It's got lots of tones in it. Again, what is left is going to get stashed to go in this block of the month I keep talking about. Kate, I'm a little bit blurry. Can you just unblur me? Right. There we are. Then you're going to be able to pop it with black. Now, I looked at lots of different colours to put with it, and there's black is the only thing that's going to make this little guy shine. Isn't he beautiful? He's so cute. I'll hold him up just so you can see him a little bit better. So these are made in India. They have been hand stitched to an extent, so I would say that all of the body may have been done on a machine, but I am assured that his beautiful little blanket and his feet have all been done by hand. So to pop these on, when you sew these onto the black, round the edge there is enough room, I've done a lot of these before, to get your needle down with little tacking stitches. So I would pop him on with a little bit of fabric glue first, and then I would definitely stitch him down. Okay, I hope you're replying to people. What are you doing? Okay. I wasn't sure what you were doing. What are you doing, Kate?
Woman of mysteries.
Yeah, you woman of mysteries. Texting people during the show. No, never. So that is special number 5.
6.
No, 5.
Oh.
This is number 5, and we've got 10 of these. He's so cute. I'll just show the guys one more time. Actually, he kind of looks quite nice on the red as well. Do you want to know it that way? Looks better up that way. Very, very cute. Because he is so small, you can also really play around with the size of that pocket. You might like to do one that's more like the size of my camel one, that's a little bit narrower. So if I pop that over there, that gives you an idea of scale. So you might even want to bring it down and make that pocket on the front of your bag one that is going to fit your phone, and then that pocket. So with my phone, which is in a chunky case, I could probably come down a little bit narrower and he would still fit on there really nicely. So you could bring it all down and make it more like a bag that you wear over your shoulder to wear just when you go walking and things as well. That'll work quite well.
Peter Hartley said you make everything look so easy.
It is easy. It's so easy. Who said that?
Peter Hartley.
Oh, Pete! How are you? Are you okay? I'm coming to play. That's not a threat, it's a promise. I need to go and see Peter. He missed the exhibition, so I have to take the exhibition to him. Kind of. But I hope you're well. I hope you're really well. All right, so that is number 5. We've got 1 to go. This next one is going to take a little bit of your imagination, just a little bit. If you, Kate, can you just have a look for me? YouTube, which show did we do pre-shaping? Which show? Oh, I found in the cupboard for you.
Thanks.
That's all right. But we're actually changing envelope sizes this month for applique girls, so maybe not.
What am I searching? Sorry.
Which, yeah, pre-shaped, number 3. Right. I think it's 3. There's one of our shows. Sorry? It's called Curves and something. Clamshells, and we did.
Curves and Damper?
Curves and Damper, that's the one. Episode 6. Wow. Okay, so episode 6. Can you hear downstairs? Sorry, this customer's downstairs. Episode 6, we think. Pre-shaped curves. So see this guy here? See that? He's in his own little circle. So if I wanted to, I could completely ignore all of the octagon and the work around the edge, and I could cut him down. I'm going to cut one out of this because this is the one that I'm going to make myself. If only I knew. Pete, I may make it look easy, but I also make it look really easy to lose things on a desk that's just not that big.
He says he's recovering well.
Yay! We love to hear when people are getting better.
Yeah.
I'm hacking. Can you see that? There's nothing neat and tidy. So, on this episode that we're talking about, number 6, is about pre-shaping curves. We did clamshells, we did little Suffolk puffs. There's a lot of puff stuff going on this month in the applique sample, that's for sure. And in all of that, there is one sure technique to use for getting a really nice curve. I'll give that a press, it's a bit wonky. There. So I've chopped out all of his octagon and he's now down to his internal circle with a really generous wonky 1/4 of an inch around the outside. Have a look at the method. What you do is cut yourself out of cardboard, or for me, the perfect thing to use is a sheet of sandpaper with some old scissors, a circle that fits around here. So to get that circle, I would actually put a piece of template plastic or something clear over the top. I would draw that circle in. I might actually have a look in the cupboard and see if I had a plate or a saucer that's the right size, because I want it just to sit inside or outside that marked line for the circle. Then I would do a running stitch with a knotted thread right round the outside, right on that outer edge around there. I would turn it over. I would sit my piece of sandpaper or my cardboard template in the middle and pull up the thread. And what that will do will bring all of these edges really nicely and neatly in and pre-shape them over the cardboard or the sandpaper. Flip it back, hit it with an iron, nice and hot. That's why I use sandpaper. or cardboard. Do not use plastic. Hit it with a hot iron, a bit of starch, and it's going to pre-shape it for you. Then carefully pull out that paper or sandpaper, and you're going to have the great pre-shaped dragon plate that you will be able to put over a square of black for your pocket. If you want to as well, from that plate template that you had, or that inner circle, you can put some thin pellin on that also, and that's going to puff it up a little bit. So when you fold the edges in, they're going to go up and over all of that padding, and then you've got this really nice sort of raised Chinese coin or plate. So in this pack, you're going to have black. Now this is not the solid black that I used before. This is shadow plate. It's actually got a beautiful, you can see that it's not solid black. It's this beautiful dark black, blue, grey colour, and that works really well with this combination because I have popped in my Hampton stripe as the third fabric. So that's what's gone in with it, like that. So this is special number 6. You're going to have shadow play. It feels beautiful. It actually feels really nice. It's got shadow play. It's got a 1/2 meter of the gold. I just think that also the Hampton stripe cut crossways is going to make a really cool handle on this particular combination. So that's the combo for the last one, and that's just another idea for you to use. I mean, you can use any of the ideas that we've talked about today for your pocket on the front. That will work with anything. So you can see you could actually just do that with these fabrics or any of them, or you could do the cut down octagon that I talked about. Any of those things, any of them will work. And I could go downstairs and pull you another 10 combinations, I would hope, that would work for you. But I'm hoping that's given you some really good ideas. And look, we've all got the stash, right? So it might even be something you'd like to have a go at this afternoon and design your own up. It's only a piece of fabric, so you need to cut into that stash. But also, of course, if you do like any of the fabrics that we've got today, there were those 6 specials for you. I'll do a quick run through. I'll just pop them here for you, and then we're going to call it lunchtime.
All of them are $32.50.
They're all $32.50, and the value on them all is $39. What I will do, I will pop up a little warning later in the week of when we're going to stop the special. That's probably the way to do it. So we're out of, how are we going with the effluents? Have we got some of those left, Kate?
Yes, not many are sold actually.
Okay, all right, so we've got elephants.
Rosemary asked, does Hampton come in a purple?
Hampton, that is, now Rosemary, why does that not surprise me that if you have asked that Hampton comes in a purple? No, it doesn't, I'm sorry. They're all on the website. Hampton stripe comes in red and green, black and gold, pink and teal. In fact, if you love the pink and teal, we are down to our last 2 bolts ever. So if you want that, you better grab it. So special number 1 is that one. There's also an olive green and a rust. There's a cream and gold. There's a blue, and we're running really low on blue too. Special number 1 was the purple pack. Special number 2, I think Kate may have already taken, but they're sold, so that's all right. That was special number 2, was the Melba pack. Then you've got the jade pack. 1, 2, and 3. So that's number 3. Your number 4 pack that we only had 5 of, I think Kate said.
The icy red.
That icy red. This is not going to be for everyone. Not everyone's going to go, but at a great discount price, you might go, yeah, but I can grab those fabrics and I can use them for something else and put them with black. So whatever you'd like to do. So icy red is 4. Our elephant pack with our little guys with the black, which is that one there. That's number 5, and that goes out with the black. Again, you might go, yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but it is going to be a really, really nice project, I think, to do. This is what makes up the difference in the price, because these were about $10 each. So that's why this pack's a little bit more. Well, it doesn't feel like it's got as much, but it does.
And then we've got one more special one.
Then we got one more after that, which is the Chinese coin one, which was the one we've just looked at, which was the black and gold, which is that one.
And then we've also got Palin, $10 meter.
Yeah, so
and we've got the new one for $15.
That's right. So we've got those two thinner, if you like, Palin battings if you wanted to use them. So we've got normal 640 Palin, which is this one that we usually stock all the time. Then we've got the new one, and Kate's got that over on the other wall.
Yeah.
Sitting over there. And this is the other one that I showed you. So it's just, it feels, you know what it is? It feels softer and more fleecy on the non-adhesive side. So it's got a little bit more give in it. And that's 15 a metre, but it's also 55 inches wide. So that kind
45.
of... 45 or 55?
Yeah. The width is 45.
You said 55
No,
before.
The
Oh.
width is 45.
45, not 55.
You were saying 45 before.
Was I saying 45? Okay, that's all right then. So it's a little bit bigger, and it's yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Better go use some then. It'd be really nice on something that's heavily pieced, because it's got a little bit more give. It's not going to get that puckery effect. So that's it. All right, that is it for today. Off you go. Go sew. Go make a bag. It's time to sew. I'm going to make a few myself, I think. So we'll be back next week. Tuesday for you, Kate?
That's what you need.
Well, you might have uni.
Tuesday would be great.
Tuesday next week. We'll do another little demo next week for you with some specials. In the meantime, we're going to get a craft and cook done. There's demos. Oh, if you're waiting on the embroidery stitchery demo from Emma on A Quilter's Life for your applique samplers, that's happening today as well. So we'll get that done and get that up for you. And Australian Textile Exhibition. There'll be a newsletter with all the details, but the new dates for the exhibition and the new tickets are available now. So if you click on the link on our website, you'll be able to book your tickets to come. Also in the free download section, again, it'll go in a newsletter, but the form is there if you wish to enter our challenge. Judy came and picked up her jackets, her beautiful machine embroidery jackets the other day, and she left behind, by accident, her 2 beautiful bags that she had made, and I'm not giving them back because they're just too good. So we're actually going to pop those in, because she didn't think about it. They qualify for the challenge because they've got 2 Under the Australian Sun fabrics in them. So we're going to use them. What's in this box here, Kate?
Good question.
Oh, okay. Let's quickly, before the cameras all die and we run out of battery.
No, it won't. You're fine.
Oh, I'm fine?
Forever.
Oh, keep going. No, I won't. This is a challenge piece that has arrived. And when I say arrived, it arrived last year for the challenge. And it has been sitting here waiting. So I'm going to, the ones that have been here a long time, these ladies all know, this is Jacqueline's in here. So do you want to have a look? So we've been looking after it. The poor thing, I'm going to have to open it up and give it a press from the back. Now, if you are entering and you just go, I'm not going to enter anymore, it doesn't work like that, because this one is a viewer's choice. It's not about judging the techniques. It's not about judging anything like that. It's about what appeals to the person looking at the quilt. So when people come through the next exhibition, they will be given a voting form, and they will be able to vote for the one they love best. And we've seen that before. You can get really amazing pieces that are technically just out of this world. but they are not the ones that get the vote. Sometimes it might be the handbag that you think, yeah, I'd like to wear that bag, or I like what they did with that colour, or it depends. So I turn this round. There we go. Now you have to remember it's been in a box for over 12 months. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. And look, it just humbles me so much. This has been done, finished off very early last year, I would imagine, and sent down, of course. Then it all went pear-shaped, didn't it? And we had to wait and wait and wait. So finally, we will get to view all of these beautiful treasures and the ones that people are working on at the moment in May, which is just going to be fantastic. And you can come along and vote. Look at that. Just gorgeous. And there's little bits of, see, this is it. You go, where's the Australian sun? It's here. It's in here. And it's been used, there's been a black flowering gum from far long ago, used here for the Banksias. It's beautiful. It is fantastic, but you know, it's going to be so many different things. There's going to be bags, there's going to be jackets, there's going to be Christmas stuff, there's going to be, oh no, Christmas is July, I take that back. But if you had something you want to put in the challenge that's Christmas, by all means, you can come in. I know Josie's got challenge stuff. I so don't want to fold this up again. I just want to pop it. We might have shoes again. We all know who makes the shoes. Okay, I'm going to pop this back in here. If you have a challenge piece that was sent on the Never Never last year for the original dates, we are not claiming your entry money. It is now free. So, for example, in this box, there's money, Jacqueline, for the entry. We're just going to send that back to her. If you gave us a check, we're going to send it back to you, or we're going to give it back to you. We're not going to rip, no, Kate, we don't rip up checks. We're going to hand it back to you because it's not important anymore. We just want to be able to get you to exhibit and have some fun. So that is it for today. I'm going to go. Thank you so much. I don't think there's anything else to tell you except we've got a big fat banana sale starting on Thursday. That might be something. Gosh. I know, and that machine I just had up, it's on sale. So I'll pop that in a newsletter on Facebook too. It's all good. Whoa. All right, you enjoy your day, enjoy the afternoon, and we'll have some more things up on Facebook for you over the next couple of days. And yes, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, now's the time to do it. So on the homepage of the website, and you'll get all the gossip as well this week. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.